Today we're going to take a look at the Dexter 95-inch long, 6,000-pound trailer axle beam with the E-Z Lube Spindles. Now this axle beam will act as part of your trailer suspension system to replace an axle on your trailer, and you can fabricate a suspension to fit your application. This is a high-strength steel construction. The axle tubing on this diameter is 3 inches, and this is an underslung axle, and by that I mean the spring seats here that your leaf springs will mount to, they're actually welded to the underside of the axles for mounting your leaf springs. That'll give you a nice low ride height, makes it very easy to load and unload your trailer. The spring seats, the spindles, and the brake flanges are all welded onto the axle. Now you might notice here the bend in the center of the axle right here, and this is what will ensure the proper camber angle. Basically, when you install the axle, that bend should face up, and the label right here should face the rear of the trailer. Now if this label is missing, you can see these wires that are used for the electric brakes, they should also face the rear of the trailer. But basically when you have the center right a bit higher and the sides of the axle bent lower, it allows that axle to give just enough to compensate for the load that's on the trailer, and this bend will create the zero camber angle for even road to tread contact across the width of your trailer tires, and it ensures that the angle of the wheels is correct for your towing needs. So the result gives you excellent straight line acceleration for steady controlled towing. You can see the spindles on here. They are straight E-Z Lube spindles, so there's no drop to them. And the E-Z Lube configuration is nice because they'll have the built-in grease zerk fittings on the end of the spindle. Allows you to hook a grease gun to it and pump the grease into the bearings without having to take off your hub and drum. When you have your hub and drum installed on here, normally you'll have to take that out, take the bearings, grease them individually, put it all back on. With this, you just put the grease gun on, pump the grease in, it goes right into your bearings. Very simple. Now this will include the castle nuts, the D-washers, and the retaining washers. Now the bearings that go on here are sold separately. And you notice the brake flange is a 5-bolt brake flange with the studs installed. This part is made in the USA. Weight capacity is 6,000 pounds. Now when you do purchase an axle, there's 2 critical lengths you want to make sure of: the hub face to hub face length. And basically what that is when your hub and drums are installed on here, you want to measure from the face of the hub all the way to the face of the hub on the other side. On this one it's going to measure 95 inches. And then the other length to be critical, or remember, is the spring center to spring center length, and that's measured from the center of this spring seat all the way across to the center of that spring seat on the other end. On this one it'll measure 80 inches, and that's usually your trailer width. Now one last thing I do want to mention is when we do ship these, we don't leave these unprotected. What we end up doing is we'll coat them with some grease to keep them from corroding, and then we have this thick rubber boot that'll slide over them, and that'll help protect them, and then rewrap it. So we'll ship it that way, and you can see the other one, it's all same way. So when they're shipped out, they are protected from any damage. But that should do it for the review on the Dexter 95-inch long, 6,000-pound trailer axle beam with the E-Z Lube Spindles.